All right, Living in the 904, Northeast Florida's local real estate radio show where we talk about the real estate market, the home buying and selling process, as well as what's going on in the 904. We like to talk about local events, talk to local business owners, which is perfect for today because we've got Chad Munsey with the Bearded Pig on. Chad, thanks for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and we had the opportunity to have you on the radio show, and we're excited to, and we're big fans of Bearded Pig. Mo and I got to eat there together shortly after you came. Yeah. And, we definitely enjoyed that as well.
Still haven't brushed my teeth, Dan. I still haven't brushed my teeth yet.
Yeah,
we look forward to having you guys back on the patio soon.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And you know, hey, we wanted to chat with you and just kind of catch up because everything going on in the world. We've been getting on here talking about how we've been working amidst COVID-19 and how it's affecting the real estate market. And obviously it's had a huge impact on the restaurant business too. A lot of people having to go a little different, different ways and figure different things out. Can you tell us for you guys at Bearded Pig, what's your experience been up to this point?
So back on March 19th, we made the decision, kind of a preemptive strike, kind of a little foreshadowing on what may or may not happen, but we made the decision from a safety standpoint to go ahead and close the restaurant completely. We also did it from a financial standpoint. It allowed us to conserve our funds. We figured that there was a closure happening soon. We were just on the forefront of that. And not sure how the to-go business was really going to work as far as being able to maintain staff and all your expense of running a restaurant. So we decided to close, conserve a little cash. We did about once a week, we were doing some kind of big catering jobs for the JTA, for Republic Services, and we had just managers come in. So during the last 6 weeks, we've been paying our managers 50% of their pay. And then we've been paying our hourly employees a flat hourly rate, 20 hours a week. So it gave them some money coming in. Right. And that was kind of our plan. Originally though, we thought it would be 3 weeks, maybe 4. I don't think we imagined it would be 6. Right. And we just kind of decided at this point now, it's time to kind of fire back up the engines. We've had a ton of requests for our to-go food. Yeah. So we've made the decision starting this Friday that we'll do takeout only on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll limit our days. Hopefully the weekends based on the messages we've received at the restaurant online, it seems like the weekends are the big times that people are craving barbecue. So, it's been interesting. Yeah. I say the best thing for us we could have done was to close and conserve cash, and it set us up to be able to get back and get reopened. So everyone's a little different. I'm sure not everyone felt the same, but we were in a position that we had kind of a reserve fund that honestly we thought we'd be using for a hurricane. We opened in 2016 in April, and in that September we had to close for 3 or 4 days with a hurricane. And it was then we decided, okay, we're going to save a little each quarter so that we have this reserve fund. And so we have that. So
that's good.
Yeah. With the gas right now, Chad, with everything going on, what are you presently doing?
I have been working on house projects. We had a number of things in the works prior to all this. And it just gave me an opportunity to get things really kind of dialed in from a landscaping and the yard perspective. So it's been nice. We've been working on some back end things at the restaurant. We're going to be updating our website. We're going to be transitioning over to a new POS system, which allows us for online ordering. So all those things will kind of come in the next couple of weeks or next month or so. So we've kind of been pre-planning for that. It's also given us an opportunity to kind of plan for our future. We have a new building that's under construction now for our new location in San Marco. and we've just submitted plans for our beaches building. So it's kind of given us a little bit of a break to kind of get the plan going for our new locations. We also feel like we're in a position, even when we get back open, to transition to, social distancing, and because we're a fast casual, we don't have to worry about waiting tables and such. So it's been a good play. The first couple of weeks was a lot of housework, and now the last couple of weeks have been planning. We've had the staff at the restaurant for the last week or so doing deep cleans and freshening up the paint, kind of making it look all fresh and new again. So it's been really good.
So I apologize. I've been getting distracted on your Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm getting distracted too. It's been a long time since I've had a lot of them.
Is this brisket cheeseburger going to make it on the to-go list?
Probably not this week.
Ooh, that looks good.
But we've had a lot of requests for that. There's a couple of things due to our supply chain that won't be available this weekend.
Right.
That should be available. The brisket burger was something we did as a special. But if we have a lot of requests this weekend, we might make a few for the following weekend. Unfortunately, the big beef ribs are not going to be available this weekend. Yeah. We just couldn't get them in time. And then also collard greens. Nobody can get fresh collards right now, so we won't have those available.
I need to keep that in mind if I go to a restaurant and they're offering up collard greens. Like, hey, no one's getting these fresh right now. So
yeah, nobody that we can get. We try to buy regional.
Right. Yeah.
So our supplier, our food supplier, is gone to limited delivery days, and then our beef comes out of Colorado and our pork comes out of Minnesota. So we've had to. It's been talking about planning. What I've been doing for the last 10 days or so. We've been kind of like planning. Are we going to be able to get these things in on time?
Yeah.
So they were delivered yesterday, and some will be delivered tomorrow. So we'll be all set to go.
So for this weekend, like if somebody hears this video and they're like, oh, let's put in a to-go order, what's the best way for them to go about doing that right now?
So this weekend and every weekend, as I mentioned, we'll be open from Friday through Sunday, 12 noon to 8 p.m. or until sold out. We are doing just limited amounts of food with barbecue. We'd rather sell out than have it left over. You can't use it on Monday, right? So, but each and every week, we'll start taking pre-orders on Thursday at noon. So from Thursday, from noon to 5, they can call the restaurant. I've got 2 girls there working in our catering department, manning the phones, and you can call and say, I need a couple of racks of ribs for Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and we'll go ahead and get your order and get you that food reserved for you. Or they can call day of, call in the morning at 10 o'clock or noon and come pick it up. We can set times. We've normally never allowed that, hey, I want to call now and pick up at 3 o'clock.
Right.
We'll do that. And then of course they can also just show up. We prefer pre-orders just in this age of social distancing. From a flow perspective at the restaurant, it'll be nicer. But if people are driving by and, hey, you know what? I heard they're open. They're welcome to walk up, place an order, hang out for a little bit, and we'll get the food right out to you. So lots of different options.
So unprecedented time that we've been going through. What I'm sure different people might have different answers, but like, how does this impact going forward? Do you feel like you now need to prepare for stuff like this in the future? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Let's hope this is a once in a lifetime thing for us.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, we had always prepared a kind of disaster fund, or disaster relief fund internally.
Yeah.
Living in Florida, we just always assume it would have been a hurricane.
Yeah.
I think we'll continue on our same path internally from a savings perspective, so that we can help set ourselves up a little bit.
Yeah.
But in regards to this, now it's a whole different model of how we take care of guests. And we've always been uber cautious, and I'm a clean freak. So lots of our suppliers will come in and say, wow, your all's kitchens are really clean compared to places I go in. And we'll continue on that path. I don't want to say, oh, we've stepped up our game, because that kind of makes, when I see that restaurant say, oh, we're taking extra precaution, I'm like, well, what did you do prior to this? Were you not that clean? I mean, we're supplying masks for all of our staff. In fact, I had them made, supplemented with our logo on them. So everybody will be wearing them. We'll be a little extra cautious in the cleaning of menus. For this takeout, obviously there won't be sauce bottles available. Everything will be kind of pre-ordered and pre-done. It's just a couple of extra steps on our end, and it's something that we were doing really the last week we were open. So we'll just continue on.
Yeah.
But I think hopefully it shines a light to not just the business sector, but to a private sector, that it really is important, to try to save a little bit of money and have that disaster relief fund. And, do you need that new $100 pair of tennis shoes that just came out, or should you maybe put that $100 away and wear the couple that you've been wearing? Hopefully it shines a light onto a lot of people, because I think obviously I would assume that the panic mode set in both from a personal and professional perspective when people realized, oh, wait, I don't have any money.
Yeah.
I talked to some restaurants that they had payroll coming up the week after everybody closed, and they weren't sure how they were even going to pay it. So hopefully it's a wake-up call for everybody. It's a tough lesson to learn, but, and sometimes it's very difficult, and the restaurants run on thin margins.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just kind of have to, you got to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And people are being creative nowadays with new ideas. I wanted to offer you an idea. Just 10% is my going fee, but, people need masks. Mo and I, if we're going to show a house, we could bring a mask and make sure everybody feels comfortable. You got the Bearded Pig logo mask. If you just add the scent of brisket, then I think that's something that can really take off.
Yeah. If I could bottle the smoke.
Or when you're wearing it, you're just smelling like you're in the smokehouse. I think that's a good idea.
I think if I could just somehow figure out how to create scents when you open up our Facebook page or Instagram page to entice people to come in. If you're within a couple of mile radius of the restaurant, you can smell it already. But yeah, I love it. Yeah, definitely.
Well, hey, Chad, we're big fans of the restaurant. We really appreciate you taking the time to get on with us. We know you're really busy because you guys are prepping for getting some food out this Friday.
I'm headed there in just a bit to wrap up some things, and we're excited. It's been awesome to see the response when we made the announcement we were going to reopen, and it kind of, I think during this whole closure, we kind of worried, what happens on the backside? Yeah. Will people still want our food? Will they still want to come in? And it just solidified that we've got a lot of great loyal fans we're very happy about. So
yeah. Well, thanks again for being on, and we encourage anybody that's seeing this, definitely pick up the order, go to their Facebook page, see their menu, and call in an order.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, guys.